They cannot just tell you what has happened.
And they can't just hand it to you.
You can't just hand it to you. They have to read it. And it was a letter saying that he was MIA and shot down over Hanoi. And my first question was, why was he flying over Hanoi? Because they had not flown over Hanoi, ever.
And can you remind us what year this would have been?
This was 1972.
Okay.
December 18th of 1972.
And the reason Hanoi would have been...
It's a heavily guarded by SAM's missiles by the Russians. They were Russian communist materials in Hanoi. And they had never flown over there. And the other interesting fact that most people don't understand is they could have been carrying nuclear weapons that night, but they weren't. So that's why Robert was a big deal to Vietnam.
Yeah. It does sound like you had a lot of support, though, from family and community.
I did.
Can you speak to a little bit about how that felt? Because would it have been normal for most people, for example, father to be told not to leave the house, that kind of thing?
That was, well, in looking back, he was told to wait, which makes me finally realize that they had gone by the furniture store first looking for me, and I wasn't there. Blytheville, well, I'm 21, 22 at this point, and Blytheville was my home, and I had all the support of the neighbors. I had the support of the police department, who sent a car around every night checking on my safety in my own house that we had. The wedding would have been 500 people, which tells you I had lots of support. So all those people were there for me. The school was wonderful to me. Gave me some extra time off till I got my act together, and then I knew I needed to go back to school.
I imagine that was a really hard thing
Yeah.
to do. So when Robert shot down, how did you kind of stay informed about what was going on with him? Did you get any information while that, or did you just have to wait?
We just had to wait. There was not much information. At one point, there was instructions of how we were to send packages or letters that would go through the Red Cross and then go to the prisoners. But none of that worked.
So, you're a young teacher, you're just starting a career. How long was it that you had to wait before you found out he was coming home? And can you just tell us a little bit about, with everything happening, how you were able to press forward?
I pressed forward because of work. I was teaching 2 sessions of kindergarten with about 60 children. So I was busy. But then I accepted a job out at, it was the beginnings of the community college. BB was here.
Okay.
At one time. I've forgotten the little white building, but anyway. I would teach adults about child development, and I would do that several nights a week. And so there just wasn't much time for me to be poor me, and that worked well for me.
So Blytheville was a city long before the air base came. I mean, it was incorporated, I think, in 1870.
Yes.
Yeah. But the air base comes in the 1950s.
Yes.
Of course, it was a strip during the war. But when all this is happening, can you talk a little bit about how you're living still in Blytheville, but there are also women experiencing what you're experiencing on the air base. So can you talk a little bit about the contact you had with them? What were they going through that you know of?
Well, unfortunately, we didn't know about 3 of the men on the crew. The pilot, had 5 children, so his wife was busy. Her life was busy. The next one that I personally knew was, Well, I just went blank. But anyway, I knew her, and she had 2 young children, and we would visit, but we didn't visit much because I was living in Blytheville, and I know it's only 6 or 7 miles, but at that time we were both busy.